So, hello Edinburgh, hello Chatbot Summit, still Chatbot Summit this year. So, it's my pleasure to be here on stage. I'm here for the third time actually. I was online 2 years ago. I was in the audience last year. Both of us were in the audience last year and now we're on stage. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Harald Felgner. I'm with AXA Switzerland, which is an insurance, insuring BMW cars, for example, as well. We're agile teams in Switzerland, and I'm the digital experience innovator in one of those teams. Digital experience innovator is a special name for doing UX, conversational design, that sort of things. And we are presenting a few bots today, or the results from a few bots. I have a few icons on the title slide. So the big one is ADA, AXA's digital assistant, which works in 4 languages, L'Agente Digitale di AXA. So the 4 languages we need in Switzerland, and also the name of Ada Lovelace. And this chatbot is customer facing, and we have Yoda, we have Robbie, we have Fox, Vida, what's the name of the last one? Flora, Leah, Felix, and other voice bots. So we are doing a lot of experiments. Most of them are internal. One voice bot, one chatbot is external. And I hand over to you, Daniel, to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniel, and I'm responsible for a team who makes transformation innovation projects in the digitalization and automation field. And yeah, we are currently focused on chat and voice bots, and yeah, I'm gonna first let me first give a short introduction to AXA and what our purpose is at AXA. So you have also to know about something about our culture when we look at our insights about chat and voice bots. And our culture, I have to say, has changed tremendously over the last 10 years. So yeah, 10 years ago I would wear a suit, and we had very hierarchical structures, and it was lots of status symbols, and this has all gone now for the management. Nowadays, we have a much more horizontal management, and we call that levels of responsibilities. And empowerment is key for our employees, and we believe this is necessary in a more and more digitalized world. And self-responsibility, autonomy in everyday life provides space for shaping and developing solutions and ideas independently, which we also see is a very motivational for our employees. So our employees mostly work in self-organized and fast-moving agile teams, and yeah, we sometimes have also some challenges actually in this culture, and I see it's a risk of lacking focus often. We have so many projects, and we have lots of discussion, we have lots of democratization in our company, and actually sometimes over-democratization, and you really need sometimes a lot of time to find the solution where we want to go. yeah, that's so about our culture. And I would also like to say something about our strategic plan, which just revealed a couple of days ago. And of course, it's AI. It's called Unlock the Future. And we aim to, of course, scaling organic growth and the technical and operational excellence. And we have already 400 AI cases, and we now identify the most impactful cases of that. And additional to that, we want to have a business uplift through GenAI, and using, of course, also AI in data analytics to improve our pricing, claim, and risk. We can learn a lot with that regarding customers who try to cheat us, and we can improve here a lot, we see now. And that's, of course, a focus for us, so that we have to pay less claims. Okay.
So that's the group plan you showed, Daniel, and what we have done in AXA Switzerland over the last years already. So we started in 2018 already. One important channel for me personally for chatbots in the future will be those social messengers. I still believe that something might be coming also to Europe here that's similar to what we have with WeChat in China. And that's why we opened the social media channels for customer care teams. So, of course, we had the Facebook Messenger coming from the social media team, but we made it possible via tools to also answer customer care questions on WhatsApp, on Apple Business Chat, as it was called back then, one of the first 11 companies in Europe, as small AXA Switzerland, and then trying to think of an overall text bot. I call it text bot because it's texting, it's free texting, it's selecting via buttons, and we called her Ada, as initially described, and she is the one text bot that was launched on the main page of our website and still is not on social messenger, which is a pity, but we didn't make that move yet and have a lot of more to do because of all those issues and challenges we will show shortly after. We launched her on the main page. In the meantime, she's on 42 pages and she's context sensitive and asks if she can help in that situation that's presented on the page. On the home page, we don't know anything. On the claims page, we ask if anyone has already claimed to please wait. Sometimes it takes long, and so she can take the context, and the plan is really to have her on the whole website and take the customer dialogue with her. But we also have internal chatbots done, don't we?
Yeah. We soon started with internal chatbots based on the Microsoft bot framework. They help in the IT help for the employees. They help also for underwriting, and they help us assistance for our call agents at the call centers. And then we soon started also with our first customer voice bot. We use the Google Dialog Flow, and it's just for legal protection, and it was an MVP, which we expanded now.
And then, of course, 2023 was the year of LLMs for all of us. So on one side, we saw we cannot grow further with Ada, with the existing model, and then LLMs are just another animal, and everyone gets used to those fluent conversations. So we started doing internal hackathons with that external chatbot to try to envision a future for her. In 2024?
Yeah, in 2024, this January, the AXA Group launched worldwide the Secure GPT. It's based on GPT 3.5, and it's for the employees. And it secures data, privacy, and Then we further also expanded with other Voicebot solutions. We're currently working with Parloa, a German company, which has an extremely user-friendly Voicebot framework. It's based on the Microsoft speech model, which is very good also for our Swiss German. And besides that, we also work on a further bot with Google Dialogflow, and for the conversational, for the dialogues, we work with IdeaWay, which helps us really to improve and to receive the maximum of these voicebot solutions. And if you look to 25, we consider there to summarize calls in the call centers, and we're also looking for digital avatars and in video and voice conversations. So 24 hours, 7 days, we are trying then to develop such an avatar. But then there are also roadblocks for our current rule-based bot. One is that we have, if you have a lot of knowledge, you have a huge decision tree, and it's difficult to handle that actually. Furthermore, it's not scalable, and it's very time-consuming to manually curate that. And as you might know, we have 4 official languages in Switzerland. Certainly, although quickly, I was asked from my colleagues from the French part, Daniel, when do you have your bot in French? And I say, yeah, well, it takes a lot of time. We have to translate, who pays that, and all that stuff, this discussion. So, we know that has been a challenge now, and which we will see which we can overcome now. And of course, the complex conversations, we are not unable with rule-based bots to handle that, and the limited natural dialogues we can do here.
And with LLM, we are really convinced that there will be a solution to at least a part of those challenges that Daniel presented. In the background here, you see just a small part of that ADA logic that is behind that we modeled beforehand. And we model it only for 42 pages out of thousands. So it's a very restricted set of use cases for personal customers and some enterprise customer use cases. And we simply cannot go on like that. And the first experiments with the LLM shows that it is possible to extract from existing content. If you click one further, please. So what we do with ADA today is really model in parallel things that exist in other places. So it should be possible with LLMs much better, and first experiments have shown that, to extract those contents from those other places, even though they are for different purposes maybe, but at least we can extract useful answers from that. So the other sources are the website, of course, and the multitude of PDFs we have available for customers, which are both not handcrafted for being used in chatbots. And I took a lot from your talk, Mike, yesterday to think further. We are sure we have to change those, but it's no way to duplicate those answering contents, at least. What's also in the models, of course, is some rule-based. I will come to that. And as you mentioned already, Daniel, for the third click, we have 4 official languages in Switzerland. We have 3. We use them for customer conversations, that German, French, and Italian. And then we use English in Switzerland, as there are a lot of expats. So we have to have that in all those languages. And we really we are convinced that large language model will be able to understand and answer correctly in those language situations. So what you see on the slide is the Matterhorn in Zermatt, and in the valley there they speak a language that, when it's texted, looks to me as a German like Finnish, not like German. So, but the language model was able to understand that and answer correctly for that question in High German, then, not in dialect. But at least we are convinced we will the only way possible to do ADA on the whole website will be large language models. That's the conclusion.
Yeah, understand everyone. That's exactly what we are aiming for. And we are convinced that we have to move from an interface that customer has to understand to an interface that understands the customer, as Christoph Esslinger presented 1 or 2 years ago with this slide. So we use that slide everywhere now.
So here come the challenges that we see. Even though it's only the first experiments, everyone knows how it's a challenge to achieve completeness and correctness. And in our case, I think it's only objective correctness, because insurance is boring. There's a yes or no. There's no fun in it. So we are trying to do some retrieval augmented generation experiments with different conductors, as you call it, Daniel. So every orchestra needs a conductor. We've tried LangChain. We've tried semantic kernel for those situations where it's not only about answers but about guidance. If you click once more, Daniel, so questions and answers, and that was really an eye-opener for me, those different categories you had with your mic, because, I mean, having a question and getting an answer is only the first step. In insurance, it's in almost all cases only the first step. Because we have so complicated use cases, we have to ask back and get the answer. So it's more like we have to take the customer at the hand and then begin guiding him up to the summit. It's not possible in real-world conversations with agents to just ask something and receive the answer. It's like, yeah, but do you have this, A, B, and so on? We have to present choices. And here I'm convinced that we have to combine those large language models with some sort of guidance, which I'm not sure. Then thinking of Voicebots, will it be possible to do that via voice? Or do we need multimodal interfaces? Because asking back, do you want A, B, or C, then is again like an IVR. So please say A for choice A. Doesn't work. So you need multimodal interfaces. So that's one another challenge. And then, of course, we have to connect to our systems, and we haven't found a good way yet, because asking, is parking damage covered? The answer is yes. It depends on your policy. Which policy do I have? Yeah, you have to look up. And that's those connections that we still haven't solved yet. Daniel?
Okay. Yeah, so we heard that our prototype customer-facing bot with LLM hallucinated, gave several misleading answers, and that's not good for us as an insurance. If we consider the security vulnerability, which is obviously still here, and the data breach, which also Google has realized. They have invested in 7 projects regarding that point, and they're working with the Technical University of Munich regarding that, so there must be still a challenge here. And yes, we have a reputational risk here, and the financial sector. We are in insurance, so we cannot have such a reputational. We cannot risk that. So to mitigate this, the AXA Group actually just stopped 2 weeks ago worldwide all kind of LLM-faced customer-facing applications, and is now has built a task force which controls and helps and assists with all the projects worldwide regarding large language models. And this brings me to our learnings now. So with this decision, we had to make a U-turn, and the U-turn is now to build internal chatbots, which are still allowed with large language models, and we call them knowledge assistants for our employees. And we believe that this is still also a great thing, because our employees search a lot of information everywhere. We have a lot of remote work. And before you could ask your colleague in the office, now he's sitting at home. So you need a knowledge base where you easy can ask your questions, and that's why we focus now on a knowledge assistant. And we have here still a lot of questions: how we build the knowledge base. Is it one for AXA? Do we have several? We will have several knowledge assistants. We are not yet sure about this actually. And yeah, employees are in the middle. I said we have a lot of we have they can really help here, the employees, for finding the information very quickly.
Which brings us to the last slide. So as I want to still build up that little Ada, so that was her at the age of 1 and that was her at the age of 3, growing onto 42 pages, and in comparison showing that other Ada at age of 4, small child. In the meantime, Daniel, if you click once more, this is Ada. She's tumbling, she's fat, she cannot grow like that. So our plan last August was really to stay on that customer-facing thing and kill her. So humans must die, you said. Those chatbots must die as well, but as the dinosaurs didn't die but developed into birds, we want to do that step whenever that freeze by group is over, so to be able to grow her older like Ada Lovelace did. And that brings us to the end. Many thanks for your attention. And our contact slide, if you want to... No, it's not in there.
Actually,
okay.
It's an old version we had here.
you have our names, so feel free to contact us. And maybe it's time for questions. I'm not sure. We were long.
We have a little time, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Harald. Thank you, Daniel. Great presentation. Before we move to the questions, just one. So I think we have time for one question, maybe. Let me just say one thing. What was really great here, what you could see is, like this presentation started out with a clear purpose. And it went on to look at the culture. That was the beginning of the presentation. And then we dived into, what do we derive from that? And this is a really, really, really strong point. That's why I'm telling everyone from my team, if you make an AXA project, you have hit the jackpot. It's like, because then I told Noel yesterday, do you have a super boss? And he agreed. So we have time maybe for one question from the audience. If not, then maybe just one from my side. So when you when you look at this statement, like protecting what matters, I think this is a very important statement. How do you relate that with all the things that you're doing in this space? Maybe a big question, and you don't have to answer too deeply, but
it's a big. Yeah, I mean, what do we sell? Those BMW cars are clear. You get it. You are disappointed because the rear window is not tainted. But when you buy insurance, you don't know what you've bought. So it's a really difficult product. So we sell. You can sleep at night. If you have a car accident, it will be covered, hopefully. But maybe not, because sales made it. So, and to bring that into digital, to sell insurance digitally overall, I think it's such a complicated business, because there's always another insurance being cheaper.
Yeah.
And for me, the chatbot and the emotion that is possible by bots on a slippery slope, I'm sorry. But the emotion will make it possible to improve. Or it's for all those that have to call because it's so complicated, because it's not a tangible product. And we hope that our chatbots will be able to do it more efficient, answering that question. So it's always a negative touch point, most of the cases, except if you change address. But if you have a claim, it's negative, not because of us, but because of the situation.
Something bad happened.
Yeah, something bad happened. It's not fun. It's it's a claim.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Ben.